Hi guys, it's a bit of a miserable morning, but I thought I'd come out metal detecting because I've got to come up here anyway and do half an hour's work for the owner. So I thought I might as well get the kit out and give it a go. So I'll give you a quick rundown on the kit for those of you not familiar with metal detecting. This is my Minelab E-Track, pretty popular bit of kit. A lot of people use them. Some people hate Minelabs. I'm using the big coil today, the standard big coil instead of my little one, because this isn't particularly good ground. You might notice this accessory. I put this on just to stop laying it down in the mud, so that the things like the headphones can hang on here, and it just keeps it out of the muck and the wet in the long grass. Another bit of kit, second only to the detector, is the pinpointer. This is a Garrett. A lot of people use them. Very handy piece of kit. It's basically a mini detector. Once you've dug your hole, you turn it on and it pinpoints your find in the hole. Real useful bit of kit. Obviously on a cord. Another thing, a little digger. Made this one myself. You can buy them, but I thought metalwork's my thing, so I might as well make one. Bit of stainless steel, little bend down the middle to strengthen it, pointed ends, and shoved into an old this was a, what was it, knife sharpening handle. So I just took the old knife sharpener out and shoved it in there, and the sheath I think I got with something that came something free. Last but not least, my shovel. This was a fiberglass shaft shovel which was broken, which is why I got it for nothing. So I took this fiberglass out, put a steel shaft in it, cut a point on the end because this ground is really hard, a little bit shorter than it was, and also I've welded on a bit of half round, or just cut a bit of tube in half and welded it on because I was mullering my boots. It was wrecking them. So anyway, there's a quick rundown. So let's get the kit on and get out in the field. Right, here I am. This isn't a particularly productive field. There's plenty of it. Pasture, as you can see. So I'm just going to go randomly across the field. No set pattern. I hate set patterns. These people who put grids out drive me mad. I mean, they probably find more, but Christ, how boring is it? So I just tend to go where the mood takes me. The little dog's having fun. She loves coming out with me. Something there? No, rubbish. Yeah, little dog loves coming out with me. Mungles about, finding stuff. Now this is quite near this particular permission. It's very unproductive, but it's quite near, I think it's a Celtic fort. It's only about 3/4 of a mile away. So you sort of expect to find something of value. But most of the stuff I tend to find here is fairly recent. Things like First World War bullets. I think I've found a couple of relatively recent coins. I found my first silver half crown up here. What else? All sorts of relatively modern stuff. Horse harness bits and pieces. A few buckles. I found one or two nice bits and pieces, but in general it's not as old as I would expect. Hello, we got something here? Maybe. Try both ways. Put on the quick mask. Check it again. No. That's rubbish. I think that's gone to, I don't know. Try it both ways again. Yeah, maybe. might be worth a dig. Yeah, I think we'll give it a go. That was coming up at sort of 14s, 15s both ways. Signals like that, you've got to give it a dig. This ground is so hard. It's like absolute concrete. It's virtually solid flint. It really is hard. If this ground was softer, I would dig an awful lot more of my signals, but as it's so hard, I go straight in with the pinpointer on the first plug, even though it's very low or very shallow. But because it's so hard, I don't want to dig unnecessarily. Can't really find anything here. Don't quite know what's going on with this one. Check all the hole, all the sides. No. I'll give it another check with the detector just to make sure it's still there. It hasn't come out in the plug, which often happens. And if it's that small, often the detector or the pinpointer won't pick it up, but the detector will. So you just like to check. Yeah, it's still there according to the detector. So we'll dig it out a bit more. It really is hard ground up here. See if we can winkle something out. So we'll have another quick detect. Still doesn't seem to be producing anything. So it's either very small, or I suppose it could be falsing a little bit, because up here the ground not only is extremely flinty, but a lot of it is quite mineralised, and you can be digging a hole and your pinpointer will go off and you pull out a stone, and it's actually a stone that's giving you the signal. It's still saying there's something there. It's really weird. I don't tend to take too much notice of the depth on the tool, on the detector. See, now it's disappeared. Really is weird. Sometimes this happens, you just get a signal that's... See, now it's saying it's over here. Oh, just get the pinpointer out and have another quick check that it's not dropped out. It can sometimes drop out of the topsoil. No. Absolutely nothing. This is going to be one of those mystery ones. Get a good signal, dig around and nothing. It happens once in a while. It's just something you've got to get used to. It's frustrating, but there you go. Just make sure the pinpointer's working. Yep, it's working okay. So let's forget it. Move on. Never mind. Alright, now let's have a look in this one. Another good signal. Let's have a little dig. Now, you've got to be careful. See, I'm going quite gently with this, with my digger, because the pinpointer's telling me it's reasonably close. And I wouldn't be the first person, and I certainly won't be the last, to go hacking away with your digger and pull out a coin that you've put a lovely great gash down the side of because you were a bit previous. Oh, what's that? That looks like it's just a bit of lead. I get loads of this stuff, very thin. That bit's been folded over. Don't know what it was for, but you've got to dig the signals because it could be something good. But there you go. On to the next one. Right, this one's a pretty good one. So we're going to give this one a go. Through this damn hard soil. I'd love to know how these people dig this sort of ground wearing one of those bungee things with your detector attached to you. Drive you mad. I don't think it, well, couldn't do it. Sure you couldn't. Let's get a bit more of this muck out. So hard, even once you get through the first couple of inches. So, straight in, save energy. What we got here? Not a lot. Is it down there? Little tiny signal. Dig it a bit deeper and see. So I don't take too much notice of the depth scale on the detector, because depending on the type of ground you're working on, it can be actually way out. So I tend to just ignore that and go by sound really. If it's a tiny faint signal, you know it's either very, very small or quite deep, and vice versa. So we'll have a little, is that it down there? Looks like. Let's assume the position. We'll have another little dig. Again, you want to try and, where your pinpointer says it is, dig around it with the digging tool so you don't gash straight through it. Make a bit of a mess of it. And that's it, whatever that is. What's that? Let's have a little look. Ah, that's a bag seal, lead bag seal. Found quite a lot up here. That looks like a nice one. That's, I think from what I can see, that's going to be another Aylesbury dairy company. If you want to know about them, Google it, because it's quite an interesting story. Oh, there's the dog. She's going mad. Yeah, the Aylesbury Dairy Company, quite a good story. Right, the next one. What have we got in here? It's about there somewhere. A little gentle dig around, pull out a few more flints. It's so easy to damage your finds by rushing into digging them. Even though they've been in amongst all these flints for God knows how many years. One false move with the digger and you put a horrible gash down it and ruined it. And what we got here? I don't know what that is. I found quite a lot of this. It's thin. It's relatively clean looking. It's not lead. I don't know what it is. I've got a feeling it might be some sort of shrapnel. Anyway, check the hole. Nothing else. On to the next one. Right, now this one is shouting at me, so it's right on the surface. Yeah, there it is. There's something there. So I'm just going to use the digging tool for this. Because it might sound funny, but I have found some very old coins right on the surface. Mostly on plough, but occasionally on pasture. There's something good really close to the surface. It'd be nice if it was this time. Oh no, there it is. Blooming tin can. Oh, never mind. You've got to dig them, because it could be something good, because some of these tin cans and stuff sound so similar to coins. So it's got to be dug. Okay, on to the next one. Let's see what we've got here. Ah, Something right on the top. Oh, look at that. There it is. I love these. And you find them straight away. Oh, that's nice. That's gold. Well, it's not gold. It's gilded. It's a lovely little gilded button. Found quite a few of these. And actually quite a few of them up on this permission. It says something about orange, but I can't quite make out what it is. But it's a nice little button. Guess it must have been quite expensive to be gilded on the back and the front. So there you go, that's a nice little find. Okay, what we got here? It's there it is. Is that it there? Yeah, something there. Still there. No. I'm going to winkle it out because it's very close. I don't want to damage it with the digging tool. And there it is. What have we got? Oh, that's a lovely little button. That's a beaut. It's got a crown and a V, and it's complete. Oh yeah, that's nice. I'm guessing that probably is army, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look up that when I get home. But that's a nice little find. It's amazing with all these stones, flints everywhere, that anything like that comes out intact at all. So many of the coins I find up here are absolutely mullered because of the stones. Alright, what we got now? Another good signal. I've actually moved fields now. I was getting a bit bored in the other one. It was literally only 10-15 yards away. This field I have found lots of ordnance. I think it was used in World War One as for target practice or some sort of firing range. I found dozens and dozens of 303 shell cases, and a lot of them have been banned in 1903 because they were hollow points, and the Geneva Convention or something similar banned them and consigned them to practice use only. And the actual cases, is that it? No, still there. The actual cases have had the model number altered. If you look at my Ipernity photo site, you'll see a couple of them, or at least one, where the model number has been changed, and someone told me that that's why. There it is. Good old cartridge case. I can't read exactly what one this is because I haven't got my glasses on, but I'll check it out when I get home. But I'm expecting to find a lot of those in this field. This particular field literally is only 100 yards from where I was. It's just full of them. Absolutely full of them. So, let's carry on to the next one. See if we find another one. The weather's starting to close in a bit now. Probably can't tell, but it's a bit black over Will's mum's. And it's starting to get a bit chilly. Alright, what we got here? Another reasonable signal. Quite sure what it's going to be, but it's still very, very hard, this ground. It's funny because occasionally you'll get a patch which is much softer. I don't quite know why. You'd think the same ground in the field would be, well, the same. Get out this big stone. I don't know if you can hear the buzzards. They're really making a noise. see what we've got here. Again, try and be careful and go behind the signal. Winkle it out without doing it any damage. Still in there somewhere. What have we got? Yep, there's another one. I think I'm going to find a lot of them today in this particular field. So I'll fill this one in. Go on to the next one. I know it's not a very productive site, but you do tend to find quite a few very close together. Well, the weather's closing in now. I'm getting tired. The dog's, well, she's still mungling about, but I think she's started to have enough. So I'm on my way back to the car, and obviously you've got to keep your machine on. You just move a little bit faster. And if you come across something, you come across something. I never turn my machine off until I'm literally back to the car. I've found so many really nice little things just as you get back to the motor. So I always keep it on. Sometimes I don't even swing it, I just drag it behind me. And if I hear it go, I turn around and have another look. And I have actually found some pretty decent stuff. It's funny, it's so tempting to, it's addictive. You don't want to turn it off until you get back, but you've had enough. But there you go. That's life. And so this isn't the most productive permission I've got, but I was up here today anyway, and it's whiled away about 3 hours. So I'm going to turn it off, call it a day. Right, I'm home. I've cleaned up the stuff. This is what I found. There's 2, 4, 6, 7 shells, which I found in the last 20 minutes. A gilded button, big old half of a horseshoe, which you didn't see me find. Right in the middle there is the Aylesbury Dairy Company Limited bag seal, next to the bit of a print stuff, a gilded button, and the lovely little, I presume it's army, I still haven't looked it up yet, with a crown and the V. And this, it was my first find. I don't know if you can really see, but it's absolutely decorated to bits. It's all over it. I have no idea what it is. It may have been a button. Lots of these shells. I haven't even looked at the dates on them yet, but I'm guessing they're all First World War. And so that little bit of printer's lead. Now this, I've no idea what it is. It's silver, or it appears to be silver, found in about 5 different holes within about a foot of each other. No idea what it is. Could have been a coin, I suppose, that's been mullered. A little bit of copper at the bottom right, and lots of lead. Not as much lead as I normally find, but there you go. I have no idea what that little thing is with the circle, with the hole in the middle. It looks to be copper. Anyway, 2 bits and pieces, 3 hours work on my least productive permission.